a couple words in my little black book. A little verse to make a little thing seem good. May I speak these now, I never hold my silence. A balance in the guide that you heard misunderstood.
So just basically wanted to have a catch up. Firstly, from myself, I wanted to say thank you for last night. It meant a lot to me, not only from being able to talk about the things that I've been through, or kind of like how I have been recently, the things I wanted to get off my chest, but just an incredible evening. So yeah, thank you, mate.
Charles, you're most welcome. You experienced a peer-to-peer support group and the variety and the wide demographic of the people that get there. You know, all walks of life. Everybody's got a different story. Everybody's there for the same reason. That's to feel supported and given a safe space to talk. And that you saw that last night, and you coming down and joining us and experiencing it, and then your social media posts prior and post that, you know, they were fantastic, very kind words, and I'm just glad you managed to make it. And you know, the door's always open, you know, like you know what we say, there's always a free chair, so you're always very welcome to come back.
Thank you. I called my wife on the way home, and as much as you don't talk about what's been talked about, you have this energy, and you're like, I just feel like I have this within me that I'm going to go back in a month's time, just because I want to see, especially for the guys that were new, that were turned up. Like, I want to have this kind of like, how are they getting on? You know, I can't wait to see what's changed, or what's, you know, how people's lives are developing, how they're feeling. So I'm definitely going to stay in contact. I definitely want to drop back in and you know, specifically trying to get a few of them down towards that gym. That would be really, really exciting.
Absolutely, and I'll be joining you myself. I was thinking on it on the drive back. First of all, you know we've got a revolving door policy. You come and go as many. You don't have to come every month. You can come every week. You can come as many times as you want.
Yeah.
It's just having that space for you as an individual to know that there's a safe space with a free chair, hot cup of coffee, a jammy dodger, and you can sit down and you can talk. You know, as we talked about last night, it's a peer group. You know, you're just sat with people that have got learnt experiences. You're sat with people that are going through the same thing as you are, and half the issues that we're facing today is loneliness, and people get trapped in their own head and they think, what's wrong with me? Why is it happening to me? When they join one of our groups, they realize that they're not on their own. They realize that there's a commonality there, and there is friendships to be had and loneliness to be gotten rid of, and the ability to talk and share and be heard and not judged. You know, you experienced it last night. We have one rule, and that's be kind. You can come and talk about whatever you want, whenever you want, every Wednesday, every week. We're there.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just amazing. You can see I'm still buzzing from it. So for those that are listening or might end up watching this, let's go back to the beginning a little bit and explain exactly what we did go and do last night. I mean, I'll probably put all the prequel stuff in, etc. But so officially, we did a peer-to-peer support group under the guidance of, and the name and the new charity. Congratulations on the number.
No, thank you.
SOA Talk. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what is SOA Talk? How did it come around? Where did it originate from? What's the name about?
Okay, so SOA Talk is a peer-to-peer support group. Now, we are now a registered charity. Thank you for mentioning that. And it took you know, there's a lot of hoops to go through to get that, and I understand the process behind that. But we're a peer-to-peer support group. We're not unusual. We're not. There are a lot of peer-to-peer support groups around the country, which the one that kind of makes us stand out is not only do we support adult men, we've also got a peer-to-peer support group for adult women called Angels of Anxiety, which runs on a Monday night. And it's run by Gavin's wife, Faye. She's the facilitator. And it gives the opportunity for diversity, really. We as a group of men, obviously, we sit there every Wednesday and we talk, and you experience that the three questions that we ask, you know, how have you been feeling this week? Really specific. How have you been feeling this week? You know, is there anything you want to get off your chest this week? And we always love to end on a positive. Have you got a positive from your week? And then we do some breathing exercises to bring the room down, so people understand that, you know, there's a period where you can reflect before you react. Okay, and breathing helps that. You'll know that from your sports background. Breathing really helps you kind of level yourself out. So SOA Talk is, you know, as our peer-to-peer support group for men. Angels of Anxiety is the peer-to-peer support group for women. The women's group is a little bit different. They do talking, but they also do some other form of activities during that time. If, you know, one of your female trustees, if they're available, you know, again, the door's open if they want to go and experience it and experience what you felt with a peer-to-peer support group for men. And if you've got a female trustee that, you know, wants to go and have a look at Angels of Anxiety, which is based in the same place, Bursted Green Hub in Bognor Regis, feel free, reach out, and we'll get that, you know, just go in. You know, there's no registration, as you know, and there's the group is that there's no expectation for an individual who walks through that door to talk. Okay, they've done the hard bit, they've walked through the door. Okay, you experienced that yourself last night. You saw a new person join our group and how difficult it was for them to walk through. 6 weeks they'd been contemplating, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? But you saw the relief as they talked. You saw the shoulders drop.
So visual.
I know.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, like you mentioned the sports and the fitness, like working environments. You see people's demeanor change. You see body language when someone's like, but if to really see someone's posture dramatically change throughout the course of 2 hours, it was such a positive as well. You could literally see weight leaving someone's shoulders. It was amazing. It really was.
It's incredible. And like you said, you were buzzing after last night. We get that every week because we come out. Gavin and I facilitate the group. Okay, we always have two facilitators for, you know, safeguarding. If somebody is triggered by a conversation piece, one of the facilitators will go outside with them, have a little walk around, make sure they're all right. So there's always two facilitators in a group. Gavin and I come from learnt experience. Okay, we've both had our very, very dark periods in our life. We are very thankful that we've come out the other side, and that's why SOA Talk started. Was because Gavin and I decided that we wanted to give back to the community. And what better way to give back to the community than giving them a safe space where they can come and talk, you know, feel part of something. We call it a tribe, you know, becoming part of our tribe. And it gives that brotherhood sort of feeling that, and people are making, you know, they're making friends. They're starting to take their friendships outside the group, and they're starting to experience other things. You know, if people have come to us because they're lonely, they're starting to make friends, they're starting to build relationships and build bonds, and that's just a byproduct of being able to come and actually talk about things as well. It's just an incredible thing. And I think everybody should have an opportunity to be able to access free peer-to-peer support. It's simple. We're there. You know, we're very lucky. We're funded through people raising money for us, and we've got a great bunch of trustees that are out climbing mountains and doing things and various things like that for us. And that keeps our doors open. It keeps the kettle on, keeps the biscuits on the plate, and it's a fantastic thing, Charles. And you know, we feel, both Gavin and I feel very, very privileged, and also we get to network. You know, we through this we've met you, and without a shadow of a doubt, I am sure that the synergies between our two charities will be recognised, and we'll be able to do things together. You know, and
100%.
And that is again a fantastic byproduct of what we're trying to do. And it, you know, I feel privileged to be able to do that. You know, it just makes me happy, and it helps my recovery as well.
I get that. Like, one thing I've learned over the past 3 years, so the Woodpecker Project's been officially a charity a couple of months now, but has been an ever-growing community of like getting people talking, doing things, and raising money for other charities along the way. And And like you say, it's almost like an accidental networking where you're just meeting people so organically by doing these different things, which has led us to this. But helping others has really helped me as well.
Yeah.
And I can see that in the way that you're so passionate when you're talking to people within the group. You just want to help, you want to listen, you want to learn about every individual, whether it's someone that's been there 26 times or whether it's someone who's only been through the doors 26 minutes. Like,
Absolutely.
and that, I think that's testament of like the way in which both you and Gav come across in the evening. I think it's you play the perfect balance of a yin and yang in your personalities to make sure that there's always that balance in the room. And I was just really taken by it, inspired by it, and of course our charities will stay intertwined because it's one of those things now where it's just part of life. It's part of what happens, and if we can be a part of it in any way. And the reason I wanted to come down, and I know I touched on it yesterday, is I feel as the founder of a charity, I have a duty of care. If I'm going to start talking about things, I want to know what I'm talking about. Now, I can't go down the road of giving people medication for certain things. That's not who I am. I'm not a doctor. I don't know that kind of thing. But what I can do is understand what counselling is like, what peer-to-peer support is like, what certain things the government provide are like. And last night was the first time I'd ever gone, it's time to leave my comfort zone. It's time to go out and market research. It's literally, you know what I mean? It is. And now I know if people are within that area, and I believe that talking to others is beneficial and in a safe environment, I know I can send them down to SOA and feel safe in the knowledge. I know exactly how they're going to have their experience.
Yeah.
Now, it might not be something that they lead to doing for long term, but I know it's a safe place that someone can go, talk, and come away. So that's kind of like why I want to do it. And now I'm just hooked. Like, I'm really, really pleased I did it. And
I'm so glad you did, because peer-to-peer support is different from counselling, because we're not there and we're not qualified to fix anybody.
yeah,
The facilitators for this group, Gavin and I, are, we come from a place of learnt experience. We've experienced anxiety, we've experienced loss, we've experienced suicidal thoughts, we've experienced some real horrific childhood traumas and cost of living crisis, and the fact that we've got no money, and these are all learnt experiences, and that gives you a very unique insight when you're talking to somebody, because you know pretty much how they're feeling.
yeah,
And by you coming into the group and experiencing what we do is far more important than all the social media posts, all the marketing, all the leaflets, because that nobody can experience that unless they've actually been part of it.
yeah,
And we always say it's a revolving door policy. There's always a free chair. We've had people come in and they've lasted a couple of sessions and felt that's all they've needed, and we've not seen them again. We've had people come in, do a couple of sessions, go away for 4 weeks, come back again. Or then you met one of our guys last night, who an absolute legend, who's been there 26 sessions. He's actually been there longer than Gav and I, because we've been off doing other things, and he's still coming along to and that's, you saw how empowered he felt. You saw that he was, the subject matter that he was talking about last night, it was really powerful.
yeah.
And he really had a point to make. And even though it was quite a weird way to make his point, I did come away from that thinking, geez, that is somebody with years of pent up frustrations, and he needed a sounding bar. He needed somewhere where he could just rant. And by God, did he rant.
Nailed
And
it in one.
but he did. But
Yeah.
what happened? The man sat opposite to him, called him a legend, and went, "You've put a smile on my face tonight, and I haven't smiled for a long time." Charles, what else do you need in the world? What else do you need?
There's no material that can offer you the satisfaction of knowing you were just in that room to witness it. Like it was just it was unbelievable.
It was great. It was great. I'm just so glad. I was just so glad you were there to be part of it.
Yeah.
And looking forward to seeing you again outside of the group, inside the group.
Yeah,
However,
100%.
our relationship develops between the Woodpecker Project and SOA Talk. And I think this is it's going to be very beneficial for everybody that uses your services, uses our services, because we'll be able to help signpost, support. And as we grow, which we plan to, we want, we don't just want to be in Bognor, we want to be in Chai, we want to be in Littlehampton, we want to be all over the Sussex County, and helping the community. It's early days for us. We started in March this year, as with our first group. Angels of Anxiety started last year, but as a men's group, peer-to-peer group, we started in March this year, and I couldn't be happier with the way it's going. Our numbers fluctuate, from 6, 7 up to 14, 16. But everybody, no matter how big the group is, everybody gets their moment to talk and answer the 3 questions if they want to.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to gym on a little bit, But hey, it's all part of the fun. And as I said, it's not a group of blokes sat around gloom and doom. There is moments of fun. There is moments of hilarity, but it's all done, and it all comes from a very kind, safe space.
Some of the one-liners that were coming out from people, it was just like you can tell that they've built that relationship, they've built that trust, and
They've gotten to know each other, mate.
It was, yeah.
You can only bring that sort of, I'll call it banter, when you feel comfortable and when you feel that the person that's sat next to you.
Yeah.
And as I said, relationships have been developed outside the group, which I'm absolutely over the moon about.
Yeah.
People are going off and doing things together, and it's just brilliant. It takes me a while to come down after a group on a Wednesday night, but it's great. And I couldn't be more appreciative of the people that attend, and Gavin, who unfortunately is not here today, because he's working. But Gav's a legend, absolute legend. And we co-founded this because we knew we had similar experiences. We know we've got different personalities and we come from different backgrounds, but what has bonded us as brothers is the experiences we've had. And I love the guy. He's an absolute legend, and couldn't do this without him. Couldn't do it without our trustees either. But we call ourselves, we're frontline operational.
Love that.
as you know. But the trustees play a very, very important part in this. Obviously, they're the decision makers. But from a frontline operational role, Gavin and I are there at the coalface and thoroughly enjoying it.
That's brilliant, mate. And like, one thing that I learned last night, and I think learning something new on experiences like this is the reason that we go, because we have to. And there's, in the mental health first aiders part, there's a bit where it teaches you to listen non-judgmentally. And I've heard that expression, I've thought about it ever since I've heard it on the course that I did. And last night it never resonated so much with me, that it is so important to listen in a peer-to-peer support group non-judgmentally, and just let them have their time, and not to try and talk too much back, not to try and relate too much, just to let that person have that time. And that really got me thinking. And obviously, as I was driving home last night, I was thinking, I wonder if he's a mental health first aider, just out of sheer interest. And obviously,
I'm not. As you know, Gavin's a mental health first aider. I'm not. My career in life has been working with people. And not just from a charitable aspect, but also in corporate business. I've been a mentor, I've been a coach, and I've also learned that you can listen, but do you really hear?
Yeah.
Okay. And people want to and need to be heard. And they don't need me talking across them, trying to put a band-aid on something that's going on. It's just allowing them to talk. And when you as you know, as a qualified mental health first aider yourself, you know, you'll know there are points, there are the pauses where you feel it's a good time to add something to it,
Yeah.
or allow, you know, put in a leading question that can bring even more out of
That's
the
it.
person.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've learned that in, you know, many, many years and many meetings and coaching sessions and things like that. And it's a skill set that I've, you know, I'm very fortunate that I've managed to bring to SOA Talk. But no, I'm not a mental health first aider.
No.
Something I've always been interested, but it's, you know, we'll get round to it
But
one day.
but what did you do last night? You filled out the form on our website, didn't you?
I was invited very kindly, Charles, to fill
You-
out the form on your website to actually undertake the training as a mental health first aider. And the first thing when I woke up this morning, I had the biggest smile on my face and I thought, wow, something I've always wanted to do,
yeah.
but there's always something that's come in the way, whether it's been finances, time, self-doubt. You know,
Yeah.
I have self-doubts on my abilities,
Cool.
absolutely. You know, everybody does. You know, I'm not arrogant enough to think that, yeah, I can smash everything out of the park. No way. I have my self-doubts. And for you to come back with that last night when we were chatting over WhatsApp and say, I've got an idea, JB. And it was like, okay, where are we going with this? And then to offer that opportunity,
Yeah.
I was blown away. You know, I thank you and the rest of your trustees for that
No,
opportunity,
no.
Charles. I
So
really
I
do.
have officially spoken to them this morning, put forward the idea, and of course there was a unanimous decision. So officially, I would like to offer you the grant, and we will look to organise your mental health first aid training. For
Charles,
me,
that's incredible.
it's a massive honour. When I set this charity up, um, of course, I want a mental health first aider in every gym around the UK. Of course, I do, but I purposely set it up with the guidance that if I feel that there's communities, and I would describe what you have there as the perfect community of varying people of all walks of life coming in. That to me, and sharing a bond and respect with each other. That is you don't. There's no clearer definition of a community than what you have, and as a tribe, as you call it, and for our charity and the hard work that someone's put in to raise money to go towards paying for your mental health first aiders, so we can then support your community with that,
Wow.
knowing full well for the next duration of how you feel confident with everything that you learn, that you know our charity is filled with joy knowing that we're helping another. So I'm over the moon to say, you know, congratulations and let's get you booked on.
Charles, you know, I was blown away by by the offer last night, and
Mm,
I still am today because what you've done is given me another tool set.
yeah.
And, you know, what you've done is given me the ability, A, confidence in myself,
Yep.
investing in SOA Talk and the facilitation process. You know, I just can't thank you enough.
That's fine.
It's just a fantastic thing, and I thank you and I thank your trustees for putting me forward for that. And I really do thank you very, very
It's
much.
it's my absolute pleasure, and we'll go through the small print with regards to ticking the boxes and getting you signed on, and we'll try and get you a course as soon as possible, as one that suits myself. I did a remote course, and I was apprehensive about how I was going to feel doing such difficult and intrusive potentially course that's really personable, um, doing it online. And actually, the people who provided the course were incredible.
Mhm.
And today and yesterday, I've got two mental health first aiders being trained for the project.
Wow.
So today's like a really big day for me. This is the next wave of people.
You're buzzing, mate.
Yeah,
I can
I
see
am.
it.
I can see. I've loved talking about everything I've been trying to do for a long time, but I've never really had such a clear vision of how it unfolds. And when it starts happening and you see it, it becomes so much easier because all of a sudden it's not just passion, it's you can see something unfolding and people start to believe in what you're doing. So, you know, one of the things that within our charity we're trying to make sure we do is support our mental health first aiders. So part of within our charity description is we said we will put on peer-to-peer support for mental health first aiders. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky, where we're going to have as however many amount wherever they're going to be. So it's going to be a little bit different. And I learned a lot last night about the importance of peer-to-peer, but also kind of how can we do it within our charity. So at the moment, what we've got is we've got a WhatsApp group set up for those who have been qualified, and for me to basically just lead it and have an open environment where people, if either they're having a bad day themselves, they want to open up dialogue and speak to another mental health first aider, we've got a safe space. But also, and you'll find this, when you're listening to someone who is having a difficult time or experiencing difficulties, sometimes that can take a toll on us. And if we don't have an outlet, if we don't look after ourselves, we're going to become no good to anyone else. So if we provide safe spaces for our mental health first aiders, if they experience this, they can come away and they can share what they've been through to kind of leave it somewhere else as opposed to inside, but also to share resource. So if I've been today and I went to an amazing peer-to-peer support group last night. So if anyone kind of thinks that they might need to get talking, try this. Like, so it's kind of, that's how I want to run the peer-to-peer support. So of course, once we've got you trained up, I'll put you in the group. And again, you can take it as freely and openly as you want, but it's knowing that we are providing you with a safe place that, again, if you or Gav, that you want the resources just to talk to other mental health first aiders about things you've heard, or if you want to use resources, it might be a little bit different for you because obviously you're very good at networking within the business and within mental health awareness at the moment. So yeah, it's just something that I feel a duty of care to do.
I was going to suggest that, you know, we have a look at what SOA Talk can do to help your mental first aiders.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, whether, and I don't know what that looks like at the moment, but whether it's you know, an online session for them
Yeah.
that we can do, you know, facilitated by Gavin and I, and allow your first aiders to have it, just come along and experience an online session, or just I don't know where your mental health first aid is a position, but
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of things that we could do to help support your guys as well.
Yeah, I
And
appreciate that.
I
Thank you.
think it'll be worth a good conversation, you know,
Yeah.
between us to say, you know, what does that look like? You know, whether it's just a coffee and a chat, an online session, a pop-up group somewhere, you know,
Yeah.
where we can just sit down.
Yeah.
You know, that we've got the skills, we've got the ability, we've got the means to do something that will benefit your mental health first aiders, because
Yeah.
you know, we've you know, we're here, we're all in this together. Another charity that we work with, that's their favorite thing, we're all in this together, and we are all in this together. And yeah, I'd love to take this offline and give it some thought, Charles, and just see,
Yeah.
you know, what we can do.
100%. I'm sure we will. And we're going to be in contact because I've got to book you on that course anyway, so you can't go
We're going to be
anywhere.
on contact without that, mate. You know that. Yeah, it's, you know, we're here for each other. You know, the
Yeah,
charities
100%.
will be very much, and you know, I'll be down the gym. I'll be there with the boys. Whoever wants to come up, I'll be there to support them as well. I'm
Yeah.
not going to let them go through this on their own. And it's a bloody good excuse for me to get off my ass and get down the gym.
Hey,
Been too long, mate. Too
I'll
long.
reach out to him and let us know. You know, I'll let him know that we're thinking about organising a little trip down there just to kind of break the ice, kind of just get that first one done.
It's the confidence again.
Yeah,
As
that's
I say,
exactly what
it's
it
the
is.
confidence of walking into the group, but a confidence to walking into the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And
Yeah.
if we're there to support them
Yeah,
physically and mentally,
we'll do
you
that
know,
together.
then
100%.
absolutely, let's do it. Absolutely.
100%. Look, on that, I'm going to go make lunch because I eat a hell of a lot. But I'm gutted Gav couldn't be here, but really appreciate you jumping in and taking this call, because I don't even think I need to edit this really at the moment. I'm just going to cut it down, put a nice twirly little tune on the beginning, and I'm just going to post it on my feed, and we'll just go from there. Of course, I'm going to tag you in absolutely everything, because please be welcome to my network, as I know I am to yours. The most important thing. And yeah, we'll sort out a coffee or a pint, anything like that soon enough.
Absolutely.
One evening, one afternoon, we'll get together. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for yesterday.
I can't thank you and the rest of the trustees for giving me the opportunity to become a mental health first aider. Thank you. I truly mean that. Thank you so much.
Honestly, it's my absolute pleasure.
Stoked. Absolutely
that's
stoked.
Brilliant. That's brilliant news, mate. Look,
really enjoyed this chat, mate. You too. Take care.
We'll do it again properly on a probably a bigger platform podcast, and we'll get Gav involved.
We'll get you onto our podcasts when we start them again. Okay, mate?
Yeah, definitely. I'll take care, JB. Cheers, mate.
Charles, be safe. Take care.
Keep chipping, mate. Bye now. Bye.
Wrote a couple words in my little black book, a little verse to make a little thing seem good. May I speak these now, I never hold my silence, a balance in the guide that you heard misunderstood. Never ever said I should have been a demigod.